Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Right, we're going to talk about ferrets today. Now every now and again I get a message through, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, text message, normally from young lads who are starting out with ferreting, and they want to know the basics to make sure they're doing it right. So let's start off with diet. Now a ferret basically is a carnivore, nothing else. All it wants to do is eat meat. In the wild, that's their only diet is meat. They need lots of protein, no fibre. Don't give them any fibre at all. So avoid bread, fruit, veg. Milk is not great because they're lactose intolerant as well. But every now and again, if you want to give them a tiny bit of milk, just a tiny little bit as a treat, fine. An egg, beat an egg up, whack an egg in their hutch every now and again, that's okay. But really, it's got to be meat. If it's dry food, it needs to be high in meat and protein content. So any really good ferret food. Now I suppose the best out there you could say is James Well-Beloved. You've got your Dr. John's as well, which is good. Any ferret kibble, as long as it's got a good high protein content. Kitten food, it's not great. It's not really meant for ferrets. Now I've used it in the past just as emergencies, just because I've ran out of food. It's got late, I've come back late, and I've got nothing else to feed. So I pop to the shop, get a bit of kitten food, just to see them through the night, you know. But I'll stress again, fibre. Ferrets cannot, they cannot digest fibre. Now that will mess their insides up pretty bad, make them ill, so avoid fibre at all costs. Now my summer and winter feeding patterns are a little bit different, but one thing, whether it's summer or winter, my ferrets have always got dry food in their bowls, 24 hours a day. A ferret's intestinal tract is really short, so they need to eat little and often. So don't be afraid to keep their bowls topped up with dry food. It'll do no harm at all. They only eat what they want to eat anyway, like us. But every other day, third day, I will give them some meat, whether it's rabbit, pigeon, pheasant, bit of venison, whatever I got. I've always got a freezer full of ferret food. Winter, what I'll do, I'll chuck a whole rabbit in, fur, head, guts, everything. Now they'll strip that to the bone within 2 or 3 days. So then I can take what's left out. Summertime, I will skin the rabbit, because basically in the summer you got your flies. Now you don't want flies hanging around your hutch, because they'll be straight on that meat straight away in the summer. They'll be laying eggs, you'll have maggots, and it'll be horrible. Always keep their food bowls topped up with dry food, because that won't hurt at all. Flies aren't interested in that. Winter, doesn't matter because there's no flies. Summer, just bits of meat what they can eat within a day, really, and that's it. Well, that brings us on to hutches and stuff, really. Now, at the moment, I've got my hobs separated from my jewels, because the jewels are in season, quite heavily in season. Now, I've got 2 hobs, that's father and son, and in the other hutch, 2 jewels. So I've got the boys in a basic rabbit hutch, which is fine, because they're not going to be in it all the time. Now, I like to give my ferrets, you know, a bit of exercise. So what I've done in my 3-tier hutch system, I've got the sleeping compartment at the top, I've got the food compartment where I feed them in the middle, and down the bottom is where I keep their water. Now the reason why I keep the water down the bottom is so basically when they need a drink, they've got to have a bit of exercise to get their drink, because what you don't want is a ferret getting fat and lazy. So that's the only reason why I keep my water and my food separate. If they need a drink, they've got to go down, bit of exercise, work for that drink, and get back up again. I mean, you'll see on this the top tier of my hutch, I've got a towel draped down over the front. Basically I like to get a lot of air where they sleep, because you got sort of 4 or 5 ferrets in one sleeping compartment. You can see it's quite big, it's about 2 foot square. Basically in the summer I'll take that towel away, so they've got plenty of air circulating in the hutch. You don't get condensation build up, so the bedding doesn't get damp, stays nice and dry. Now in the winter, all I'll do is drape that towel down over. I'll put extra bedding in to keep them warm, but again, you really need to keep the air circulating around that hutch, because it doesn't take long at all in a wooden hutch for condensation to build up and everything gets damp and horrible. Now as far as bedding goes, I like to use barley straw because it's nice and soft. You buy it from a pet shop, it's pretty cheap. You can get it from a farmer, the bales and stuff, nice and warm. They can get right in there, keep nice and warm in the winter. In the summer, they can choose whether they get in there, lie on the top. Now in the past I've used old jumpers, I've used sleeping bags, I've used everything, but I do find the best bedding for ferrets is barley straw. Well, I think that kind of covers everything. You've got your diet, your bedding, your housing, a couple of other things I may have mentioned. So any other questions you like, just drop them in the box below and I'll do my best to answer them for you, or send me a message through Facebook, Instagram. We'll always be there on the end to answer any questions and queries. I think the next video, what we'll try and cover is everything you need to go out for ferreting for the day. So that will be boxes, obviously your ferrets, ferret finders and collars, bags, nets, digging equipment, all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned. I'll catch up with you soon. See you later.